very good morning to our fifth tabletop tea time chatter.
4TC.
4TCs, indeed. And we thought we'd mention why we've been a long time since the last update. There's been a number of very good reasons, actually. You can start, I think.
Well, first time I got married in September, so that was probably a week or so after our last one. So I had a week off for that preparation.
Yeah.
A couple of days off afterwards.
Yeah. Then you took a week off after, which is your honeymoon, as you quite rightly should do. I also took a 12-day holiday, first time in 4 years, actually 5 years even, and spent some time in the Netherlands and a day and a half in Ypres, which was very nice. I'm going to talk about various aspects of that a bit later. And then I had a considerable amount of administration time in trying to get permission for, I'm working with a professor, to do a ground study of a part of the ground around RF St Lawrence, which was my World War II adventure, which you may be aware of. And if you're not, it's where apparently, because the history books don't say it did, that some Germans landed in 1943 to raid the radar station. But more of that later. Anyway, I came back full of Dutch inspiration.
And cheese and beer.
I expect cheese and beer, yes.
Lots of cheese and beer.
Lots of cheese and beer. It's a thing with the Dutch. When you make models, you drink beer and eat cheese. Very nice tradition, which we'd like to carry on here, actually. Anyway, in front of us here in the kind of smaller picture are some of the things, the pretty things shown. So part of the reason for the gap has been there's been a lot of design work going on.
There has indeed.
I'll talk through them basically, but I'll insert some other pictures a bit nearer the time, during the video rather. But here we see Dutch asparagus. These things here.
It's not going to go well with the hollandaise sauce, that's all I'm going to say.
No, you won't get good. Not German. They're good for pickling Germans, apparently. Sorry to any German people out there, but it's what they were designed for. Basically, purpose-built iron girders into manhole covers. And you can see the manhole covers come with the kits as well, because very often you see those piled up when you've got the asparagus in the manholes. Very, very Dutch. I've not seen them anywhere else. And some very other Dutch defences also include these fixed concrete. So they're like pyramids, basically, with an iron bar or iron girder, I-beam, through the middle into the ground. These come in sets of, or casting of 3, and there's normally 2 in a set. So they allow you to put those either side of roadblocks to stop people going around the roadblocks that we've got. On top of that are these things, which are effectively sewer pipes filled with concrete and have railway lines inserted in them. Very, very common. You see them quite a lot in some of the pictures of battles of 1940, the Dutch. One other little unique are these little things. So these are concrete pyramids with a little eye on top, a metal eye, and they're linked by chains. So when we sell these, I'm just going to provide a length of wire which you can then sag in between to replicate the twist of chain. And they go in normally blocks of 6. The ones that I saw were in blocks of 6. Again, either side or alongside a rail line or a road line, just to stop people coming off the dike or the embankment in that area. Other ones are these. This is very cute, very, very not fragile, made of metal, but it's got a beautiful little Dutch Automobile Association wings and a wheel on top. Bit like the Dutch AA, I think, and then the road sign. So this one, you can add it on, but it basically comes with 2 either side and the little road sign below, and then this one you can add to the side if you want. And of course, this wasn't just used in 1940. For anyone doing Arnhem games or any games in 1944, these were still in use, very much so. And you can still see them today in Holland, or the Netherlands. Sorry, I mustn't call it Holland. Holland is a province of the Netherlands. So I'm constantly reminded by my Dutch mates. And this little sign's a new addition as well. This is typically a German divisional sign or a road sign to various key places. And you quite often see divisional symbols and NATO symbology on these that are painted on and put up to show a division where to go, to headquarters and other things, that repair workshops, that kind of stuff. So some fair bits of Dutch inspiration. Last but not least, this big thing here, it's called a pyramid bunker, and it's hollow, so it's not all solid, otherwise it would weigh a ton. And the little metal spars on the outside are for holding netting, planking, other things on. And there's a nice little story about this, which I'll talk about a bit later. But this model was designed by Rob Taz, and we've reproduced it with the metal parts and in resin. And this is a little breather pipe for where the privy was positioned on the outside, with a big swing door with a little mantlet on there, which you might be able to see in the small picture. So I hope you'll agree, some Dutch inspiration. And last but not least is a combination in a roadblock set, which is basically all this lot you see here, or combinations thereof, but certainly the 4 figures, the men putting the asparagus in the slot or taking them out, an officer, 4 infantry, and some Spanish riders to create a roadblock. So that will be issued as a set. There you go. Andy?
I've been busy trying to get my own hobby inspiration back because it's been so busy here of late. I've been doing Hobby Streak, if any of you have heard about that. You do a bit of hobby, you post it up every day, which I've been doing on my Facebook and my Instagram. I'm currently up to around 20 days now, I think. Though I haven't put up last night's game yet. Which was, as you can see here,
Commander Colours.
Commander Colours.
A very nice game.
Very nice block game if anybody doesn't know it. By GMT, make very, very good ball games. This one's Ancient, which happens to be my favourite time period for ball gaming. Played 4 games. Paul won them last night, which is unusual because he normally does lose with that one. He does.
4-0 is all I can say, Mr. B. 4-0.
Every dog has its day.
It does, indeed.
Yesterday it was yours.
Yeah, indeed.
However, I was stymied by bad cards.
Yeah.
You certainly had the better formation in the first game.
I did, certainly. It was
In the first scenario, we've been playing through the scenarios.
one lovely thing about this game I like. We hadn't played it for a while. We had a little gap, and we started again last week, and we didn't quite remember everything as it should be, but we did on the last game. So when we hit these games this week, we were very quickly up to speed. And a very intuitive game, set of rules, nice and easy to play.
We had 4 games in a couple of hours quite easily, and we weren't rushed or anything.
No, and with pauses to drink beer and such like.
Eat cheese.
And eat cheese. A bit like the Dutch, really. So Dutch mates, you should be proud that we've taken up one of your great traditions.
I am slightly considering turning this into a scenery and miniatures game. Keeping the rules, but getting some Callista hexes and some 15mm troops. I think it'll look really good.
Yeah, I think it'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
It really, really will. Such a nice game. Lovely system. I think it's crying out to be done in miniatures.
Oh god, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely so. So we'll perhaps some updates on that as we do more of these.
Well, I'll wait until York next year, and I'm gonna have a look at getting some of the Callista stuff.
Yeah, those hexes are perfect for this.
Yeah, there's a hex-based game on their board, so the hex-based terrain system will be perfect.
Couple of new other new additions. You can see these walls in the distance here. So there's 6 wall pieces, all with slightly different curves. I was told by a good friend of ours who mainly into the railway market, said you can't buy curved walls for love nor money. And I thought, well, why not? It's quite easy to make curved walls.
Yeah.
So we've done these walls, which go with our own wall set, which is selling really nicely actually, and thank you to all those people who bought those. But this allows you to put any degree of curve, so sort of part curve, and as you can see, goes right round to quite a tight curve, about 40-45 degrees on that. So they'll be on the store once I've finished updating this video. And the other thing is this is the new house, new 2-story house. It's been remastered, remoulded, used a different moulding technique. We learned quite a lot from the last one. And it comes ready built in that you've got a separate chimney which you just stick on. There's a choice of chimneys as well, by the way. The roof is cast one piece, so you just put that on. Inside you've got a pop-in floor. I'm trying to hold that there so you can see it, a pop-in floor. And you can see the interior detail, hopefully will come out on the video. And 2 doors. So simply all you've got to do is put the doors in, open or closed. So there you go. It's first coming out and will be at Entoyment later next week when I take some stock over. They've sold very well, the 2-story houses, and for £18.50 all you've got to do is basically decide doors open or closed and paint it. That's it. So
speaking of painting, we want to see your painted models, be they your infantry, be they your tanks, your scenics. Send us your pictures. We want to see what you're doing with our products.
Don't bang the table. It makes the video jump. Yes. Yeah, please. Be nice to see them. And we've had some. And so the last video we did, we had a competition for the TOG. And the winner of the TOG has sent me some nice pictures. So if I can remember, I'll insert those here. Nice job, Richard Ashley. Good job, mate, on getting the right answers the quickest to us. We had many right answers. And also then sending us a lovely painted copies of your painted model. So thank you very much for that. Much appreciated. We'll try and do more competitions as and when we can think of them, really.
Yeah, I think a painting one would be interesting at the start of next year.
Yeah, definitely an idea to bounce around. I like the idea of that. Last sort of section to cover is shows for next year, because believe it or not, our very first show is only a couple of months away.
Oh, already?
Yeah.
So quick.
So it's really coming up quick. So the shows we're booked into so far, there's 3 of them.
Our first one, I believe, is York, which is one of our favourites. You know, they've got free parking. The club is great. They help you unload and set up, which is... After you've been driving for so long to get up there,
yes,
you really need their help.
We come from overseas to get to York. It's a long way for us. And from the sunny island, which you can see outside, beautiful and sunny today.
Considering what it was like yesterday, which was pouring down with rain and was hideous.
Yes, indeed. But today it's beautiful.
The other good thing about York,
the
beer is better when you go further north.
Well, certainly they sell good beer there. And there's also at the House of the Trembling Madness.
Oh, yes.
Which is a bar we end up frequenting on our day off in York when we go looking for books and
in the evenings.
And in the evening as well, yes, because it's very nice. So the House of Trembling Madness, big thumbs up for that from us.
Hell yeah.
Looking forward to that. And importantly, what date is it?
It is the 4th of February.
Sunday the 4th of February. So we're travelling up on the Saturday and we come home on the Tuesday.
If you're going to pre-order for the show, can you please get it in at least a week beforehand to give us time to do it? Because we will be very busy making stock, trying to get other orders out as well. So please give us as much time as possible.
Indeed. And big thank you to Paul Knight, who put his pre-order in for York last month. That, my friend, is the right way to go. We're looking forward to seeing you there. And we'll put a few extra goodies in for being so efficient in giving us such an early pre-order. Thank you very much.
It's the way we like them.
Yeah. Beachhead comes the weekend after, actually, so we have very little time. In fact,
that's going to be a busy start to the year.
It will be a busy start to the year. So we're up all the way up to York on the 4th of Feb, and then we're back home, and then back overseas again.
Again?
Yeah, doing favours for sailors. And,
you might be, I'm not.
Maybe. We are at Bournemouth. It's a 2-day show. We get there on the Friday. It's great that our good friend Steve and Tom from Battlezone Miniatures are there. They're staying 2 nights this time, so we end up playing some nice games on Saturday and Friday evening. It's a great show. I'd highly recommend Beachhead. There's so much going on there. It's one of these shows where, yes, it's 2 days, but they got so much stuff. They've crammed the agenda with various competitions. They've got some cosplay people going around. They've got some historical talks going on, which are really interesting, by a professional historian, as well as many other things going on. Stuff just pops up. Plus they have some really good social media interaction as well, that was done last year by our friends at the Battlebunk HQ. I'm not sure if you're doing it this year, but you did a great job last year, and that helped really to bring the show alive. And unusually, Early War Miniatures have got a display there. Now, it's not a display game, but it's a display. Yeah, it's again, I occasionally hint about it, but my World War II adventure, as I call it, apparently the German Commando raid at RAF St Lawrence in 1943. We're putting on a big display, which will be in front of our stand, and then on the Sunday, I'm doing a 2-hour talk about what we found so far, and that hopefully will include the results of our ground investigation. So part of trying to get the permissions involved with various authorities, the landowner, and we're working with the museum on the island to actually oversee this ground investigation. Kind of a mini time team, but very mini, and no sign of Tony Robertson, thank God. Don't want him anywhere near it. We're going to take some videos and other bits and pieces, and hopefully we'll find some artefacts which relate to the history of that site. So all of that will be discussed, as well as an update on what we know about the site at Bournemouth on the Sunday. I think Pete's going to schedule me in sometime. Going to need about 2 hours for it, but the display will be there, and if we get time in between serving customers, happy to talk to people about that. The last one is...
That would be Hammerhead, I believe. I'm not quite sure the exact date, but it's sometime in March.
It is the 2nd of March.
Is it the 2nd?
Yeah, so
Okay.
on a Sunday, 2nd of March. I think it's a Sunday. Might be Saturday now, I've got to check. Anyway, it's early March. It's a great show. And unusually, it has 60 participation games.
Yeah.
Which is just awesome.
That always at Hammerhead put on great participation games. Even if you're not interested in buying anything, come along and have a look round. There's always lots to see there.
Yeah, and one of my favourite parts of the show is the tabletop sales that they do. It's a bit like a flea market that rotates every 2 hours, where people can hire a table, sell off their stuff, and then hopefully come and spend the money they've got at our stand, or certainly at the other stands. And there are, I think, all the top UK manufacturers go to this show. Yep. It's really good, and it's got the benefit of free parking, unlike other shows we could mention, but we won't, where you get absolutely raped for parking fees. So yeah, free parking, loads of participation games, all the top manufacturers, and the best flea market really at any show, because it rotates all the time. Yep. So that's really good.
Yeah, if you don't see us at our stand, one of us is always going up and checking and coming back and telling the other person. It's normally Paul.
Normally me. I've had some great finds there, some old Airfix covers and boxes in the past, amongst many other things. And just to give it a slight Christmassy feel, Andy wore his best, I think only decent Christmas t-shirt. And if you can read it, you might have to read it out loud, Mr. B.
Deck the halls with skulls and bodies. Fa-la-la-la-la, Valhalla.
Perfect. Well, I think that's a very nice Christmas t-shirt.
Yeah.
I've just got my Mad Max one on. That's it, really.
That's about as Christmassy as he does.
Yeah, I don't get Christmassy.
This is about as Christmassy as I do.
And still in shorts. That's it, really. Thank you very much. Sorry it's been such a delay. We'll try and not have as long a delay next time. But that's it from us.
That is it from us.
Okay. See ya.
Bye for now.
Bye.